if we consider what we need from leaders going forward, it would probably change quite drastically from what we've always thought of as being leaders in business, especially business and politics, really, I suppose. Archimedes said, give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, I can move the world. Leadership is the lever, but the place to stand is humility. We've been on an experiment for the last 12,000 years. We've experimented a lot with hierarchy, and as a result of that, what we know now is the fact that there's a thing in the brain called the dominance behaviour system, and the dominance behaviour system operates in an entirely different way from, say, an egalitarian one. So where we get compete and control or command and control thinking, we might argue about capitalism and communism, but that actually they're both two sides of the same coin, because what they end up with is hierarchy. And going forward, we need more egalitarian forms of leadership. We need leaders who are levers of potential. They can lever the potential of themselves, a group of people, and the situation to achieve a positive outcome. So it's about being able to facilitate and coach and mentor more than actually telling people what to do. There is a time for that, but it's not often. The second thing is that they're always evolving, and there's a concept called allostasis, which is, we are always going through a life cycle, and so therefore there seems to be a challenge. What Joseph Campbell calls in his hero's journey is the refusal of the call, but then also the refusal of the return. The refusal of the call is, something needs to change, but we're not doing it. We're trying to, in terms of resilience, we're actually resisting the fact, or regressing even. We're waiting for everyone else to be the change that we need in the world at the moment. But really, that refusal of the call means that we're not taking action where we should be. We're not looking to disrupt things and change too much. We're Luke Skywalker saying, "Well, no, I'm not going to fight with the rebellion. I'm going to stay at home and look after the farm." So the refusal of the call, but then the next one is the refusal of the return. When successful entrepreneurs and business people have developed a big, a success in this present paradigm, they're not sharing that. They're not, they're refusing to come back and give it to people and then go off and find the next adventure. So, yeah, we're always in this allostasis situation where we need to be thinking about how do we get not from A to B and then back to A, but A to B and then on to C. And that's what we need to be doing, and then carrying on that process. So a leader's got to be always evolving. They've also got to be authentic. We want leaders to be authentic. In the book I talk about mercenaries and missionaries. If you're going to be a mercenary entrepreneur, mercenary business person, well, at least be authentic about it, but be honest with that and say, look, I just want to do this, get some money, and I'll pay you whatever to help me get to this position of success. But really, what we really want is like inspirational leaders on a mission, and a mission to do something impactful, to be the change that we want to see in the world. So yeah, and people, authentic is a really big one, because the problem we've got at the moment is that a lot of people are having to change their who to fit into their where, and that's because leaders are trying to make people be it's like the Industrial Revolution model of like being widgets to fit into this paradigm that they've created, if you like. Whereas it would be nice if leaders could be more inclusive and open and allow people to be who they are whilst they're working with them. So yeah, authenticity. Develop a place where people can be authentic, but also be authentic yourself. We really want leaders to create community. Community gives people agency, gives them autonomy, it gives them mutual accountability, and it also gives them this alignment towards a mission and purpose. So you've got to develop that within, you know, your business, if you like, or your project, whatever you're doing. There's a mission, a purpose, and you're developing. It would be better if people weren't developing businesses, but developing economic platforms that a community can thrive with. The other one is to get equitable, like I said before, about the refusal of the return. You know, with technology and AI, there's going to be a massive, you know, it's going to be the power law, isn't it? Where, you know, 10% of the people are going to be successful and 90%, and they'll own 90% of all the wealth. We need to change that. There's already a problem with inequality. We need to change that and make the world more equitable. And it's a difficult proposition, so we need radical hope. We don't want, you know, we don't want blind optimism, but neither do we want, you know, kind of bury our heads in the sand. We need this idealistic realist, the idea that, you know, we've got a picture of an ideal world, but we're realistic about how tough it's going to be to get there.